Let's see if it works. Hello, YouTube and Facebook followers. It's Bobblehead from Bobblehead Scale Rod Shop, coming to you live from the workbench. Let me see. Okay. Alright. What's up, fellas? What's up, fellas? What's up, fellas? Wait, let me turn on the volume on this. What's up? What I'm working on is I've posted pictures of it. It's right here in front of you. Posted pictures on Mr. Mini Dreams page on Facebook. It is called Smooth Criminal. It is a 1949 Ford. Yeah, the heat is up, Doug. It was 97 here, with it feels like of 101. As you can tell, I've extended the hood to fit. A little more work on that to do. And back here is a 57 Ford that is going to be turned into a Mercury Meteor, except it'll be a gas version. I'm in the Midwest in St. Louis, Doug. About 3.5 to 4.25 hours away from Mr. Mini Dreams. I'm in St. Louis area. He's over in Kansas City area. But what we're doing is, as you can see, I've done some fine sanding. If you have a beauty shop near you, go there. These things are gold. They're Diamond Cosmetics files. One side is 180, the other side is 100. They're coarse. This is the most coarse one, is the black. This is one of their fine ones. It's a nice light sander, but as you can tell, this is one I got from a hobby shop, and you can tell how badly it's coming apart. It's a really good stick. I still love it, but it's coming apart. Thank you, Don. Ron, I extended the hood because this piece, the windshield piece, sits on top of the cowl area. I actually took that and put it under the cowl area to give it a drop, and I gave it what looks like I have measured it lightly. I'm guessing correctly though, it's approximately a 2 to 2.5 inch chop. Hey Twisted, welcome to the party. And then this was a junk body, like Mr. Mini Dreams was saying this morning. He plays with a lot of rebuilders and all this, and this was a rebuilder that was in a box of parts. I would have to say 3 times the size as this model box. It was actually just a normal cardboard box that I got from a show, and this was one of the ones in it. The roof was in good condition, and I was like, okay. But as you can tell, I've done side to side, all types of cross hatching. So what I'm working on now is to take and get these hard edges out, hard edge scratches out, to get them a little bit finer. Oh yeah, I do too, Ron. At the art show my club puts on in May and October, I go looking for stuff like that. It's you can find a lot of great parts. I found fenders for my semi project, which I bought a set, and then I go to my show and find another set. So now I have 2 pairs. I found a bag of these seats. Really cool T-Bird style seats. And it was $5 for the bag, and I got 10 pairs. So, but yeah, it's you find good stuff like that at our shows and all the shows. The show that I go to, in which I get to hang out with our buddy Mini Dreams over in Kansas City, is pretty cool, because I've actually gone there with $100 and come back with, I think, maybe $200 to $300 worth of stuff. So just using a little bit of 240 paper. This stuff, I think that's like $3.50 or something. It's very fine. It isn't working. And I'm still contemplating which way to do the paint scheme on this. Fine that up a little bit. I'm thinking the body. I've been thinking the body in white with a black top, black interior. But then again, I've been thinking of black body with white top and then 2-tone interior. So I got a few things to consider. Don, yes, the is the Heartland Twisted. I don't think it's, oops, I just hit the camera. I don't think it's an IPMS show, but it is the KC Slammers that put it on, Don. and great group of guys. Like in all the clubs, we've lost, some great builders in the last year. So it's, they've gotten hit hard in the last year and a half, and um, it's sad to lose great people like that. Um, I know my club here in St. Louis, we've lost a few people here and there. Um, One of my good friends just lost his brother to uh, a health issue that he'd been battling for a long time, and it just reared its ugly head, and he was gone. Yeah, Dinah, it's typically one of the first weekends in um, June. If you go to, I posted right as soon as I got home the pictures from this year's, and I think I have the last 2 years on my page as well. Um, it's kind of fun. I do like that idea, Ron. I wasn't too much of thinking of a red and white interior, but because I'm kind of basing it off of what it's called Smooth Criminal, like Michael Jackson's video and song. Thank you, Doug. Um, but I actually kind of like the red and white interior idea. That would be kind of different with a black and white car. And as you can see, I'm trying to get all my fitments correct. I was looking for a piece, and now I forgot what I was looking for. Yeah, oh, that's what I was looking for. Yeah, I've done a lot of Tamiya paints as far as my secondary, like, that I paint with the paintbrush. And I kind of really like the flat red. So this kind of gives me an idea. Like, paint the whole entire interior red or white, and then detail the centers of the seats with the red, and then do some fine trimming plus the dash. That would look pretty cool, this red. Um, the other red that I've got is not on my... Oh boy, I think I'm out of it. It's a hard red. I call it a hard red, but it's like a rust. It's right here. It's a hull red. I like this too. Um, and I think this would look nice, but I'm thinking the regular flat red. Um, yeah, I do like that idea, Twisted. That's a good idea. I do like the Fred Henry's 55 Bel Air. Um, One thing I did want to mention to everybody, if you got an auto parts store, like an Advance Auto or mostly Advance Auto or CarQuest, go to their paint and pick up this Duplicolor Automotive Primer Sandable. I bought this can for $6 today. You're talking $6 for this can, whereas a normal model can is half the size, and I get 2/3 less painted than this can does. For $6, and it does 2/3 more painting. I can't beat it, because the model cans are $7.50 to $8 a piece now, and this is a pretty flat black. It's unreal. Like, I don't know if nope, haven't done that one yet. No, I don't have nothing here. But I've been just painting some parts for another build, and they turned out so nice because it lays really, really good, and it dries so easy. Oh, happy birthday, Doug. You got me beat by 4 years, buddy. Yeah, a lot of people have been using Rust-Oleum. I had a bad experience with it. Like, what if you watched Mr. Mini Dreams this morning? The crazing. Every time that I use the Rust-Oleum grays, or even their white, because I do, like, when I do a brighter color, I typically will use a white primer, and the Rust-Oleum crazed every single time. And now on the regular paints, yeah, Too Talls, there, a lot of their like glosses really turn out beautiful. It's just I just have had bad experiences, so I kind of stay away from them. I go directly to automotive paints, or you know, the Tamayas. I mix up my own. What would be a good color for shocks? It depends on what shocks you're doing, Twisted, because you've got some are blues, the top half, some are blues, some are white. Your 4x4s will have, depending on the manufacturer, will have the main top half of the shock is white, or their main color, and then it'll have like a collapsible plastic, red, blue, black. I've even seen yellow boot that covers the shaft of the actual shock. Doug's a young sprout. But this is one of my colors I made. I call it Addictive Blue. And it's actually... if it'll open. It's gloss aluminum and Tamiya gloss aluminum and Tamiya, if I remember right, it's normal blue. I've used this on a body before. I use this for a few parts and a few other things. I've got at least 10 colors that I've made up myself. Well, yeah, that's most of your street cars twisted that I've seen, shocks that I deal with, and I've seen, like, your normal factory style shock is black on black. Your aftermarkets will be whatever the aftermarket company's color is, with a uh, aluminum or uh, silverish looking shock shaft on the bottom. Um, so whatever you're trying to emulate, that's the direction you can go. Um, Going Napa, yellow and blue. That's a good idea, because Napa does carry their own shocks. But yeah. Oh yeah, Sony Charger. Yum yum. That's a muscle car. Is that the Revell or is that the? It's not an AMT. That's got to be Revell. How is that kit? I have never gotten a chance to look at it. Cool. I have to get it. But you can see this thing still even has some of the leftover glue glob from the person who built it before, and then they did this, drilled a bunch of holes in this piece, and all I've done is filled these holes in, glued this in, and now I've got to take and clean that up. Yeah. Cool, Ryan. Appreciate the help on that. I didn't even know that they were made by Monroe. Huh, I like that. And see, that's builders helping builders. That's what I love. Oh, that's cool, Twisted. Wally World Michelin's. I didn't know they carried a Michelin. I'm not very big on Wally World. one thing, I'll show you. You can see where the windshield piece is supposed to sit, and this had to be filled in. This hole's been filled in, and I have to fill in between this post and here. Still fill in this hole. I might have to fill in a piece of plastic over here. It depends on how it goes. But a lot of cleanup and get everything straightened up, and then it'll be ready for paint. I mean, they even had I still have to take this off just because they had fender skirts on it, and the fender skirts were caused a big issue, and when they popped off out of the when I grabbed it out of the box, they popped off, and this one left a chunk out of here, which I had to be filled, and then it actually left like big chunks on the body right in here and all the way along this body line molding. I haven't decided if I'm going to put another molding on here or just go straight back. I do like the moldings, the original 4950 moldings. The only thing is I just don't see this straight arrow molding looking right on this build. So that's one of the things I have to definitely work on. And then now that is the thing, Twisted, is that Catalina has those polyglass tires. Those things are immensely awesome tires, especially if you're doing a muscle car from the 60s or early 70s. And they only come in the Catalina or the tire set, but the tire set has gone through the roof for them. Thank you, Ron. It was something I had seen somebody, I don't recall who it was. It was on one of the old forums on the computer, and I would say 8 years, 10 years ago, I seen them do this. And then he took the build and just shoved it to the side, and it just was never worked on, never finished. And I had remembered that when I got this, and I'm like, hey, wait a minute, this guy did this way back then, never finished the build. What if I do that with this build? And so I kind of wanted a shorter, more chopped look car, just being really, really smoothed out. Their fender panels are going to be all smooth, and firewall is almost there. So I have a little bit to go, but it's turning out the way I want it. Ooh, they've got a big and small in there. That are polyglass lettered. I gotta go. I don't know if those are poly. No, those are blue streaks. Those ain't. That's what's going on there, is a set of blue streaks. With white walls up front. Steel wheels all the way around. But that's one thing I'm doing with this, is getting the body 100% before I take in. It's actually, because it's going to be a black car, most likely it's going to be in black primer first. I just don't like how gray primer looks underneath black. So, and that's my own preference. The Canadian grill rod comes in this actual 57 Ford. If you've got a Hobby Lobby near you, this is almost going to be basically a box stock build, except for the change of the seats. Sorry, the seats, and then shaving the Ford Fairlane emblems off of it. I bought this because it comes with the Paxton supercharger and some other custom car parts. Yeah. And like, it's got all kinds of custom parts for it. Doors open, which is alright. I don't worry about that. But I'm actually putting the Hillborn Ram fuel injection in it. But it's a Y-block V8, which those are phenomenal motors. But I needed this custom Paxton centrifugal supercharger for a 55 or 57. I don't remember which one I was going in, that I was going to be working on. And it's actually a build for somebody. So I work at Hobby Lobby part-time, and this was $7.49, so I grabbed it. The thing about this is that the last generation of this kit, I did not see this grill. This is one of the pieces that they just, from my understanding, redid. If you look at this, is the chrome. This is where the grill would sit. But the last version of this that I built, this grill was not in it. The Canadian grill wasn't in it, and neither was this. Which I think this is the drive shaft. Chrome, weird chrome piece. But this was not in it. It was, and this was all redone from my understanding. Or if they took and have two versions, and one came like this and one came the other way. But it's got all this cool custom classic, custom parts. Like, I could put these on some type of a hot rod on the fenders to give like a cool tail light or something. And I mean, so it's just something different. I'm actually gonna probably go without a hood. I kind of like the classic hoodless gasser, street gasser style. A lot of the guys that are in my club that I hang out with, they tend to lean more towards that as far as the gasser look, and that's what I decided I'm going to probably go for, is the basically street legal gasser. it does look, does run. It does look like the old Styline stuff. That's a good idea, Twisted. I just gotta find the main section of the body. But I've right now, like Minnie says, you know, so many ideas and putting them into plastic. I'm gonna take and lift my camera up. Besides here, I've got those over there. And those little shoe crates, and then I've got a shelf behind me that is the same way. And I take and test fit and work on, and I'll get to a point, and then I'll get bored of it, and then I'll work on it again, and then I'll get bored of it, and I'll work on it again. I've got one on the shelf behind me. I started 5 years ago, and then another one that I started 2.5 to 3 years ago. The same time Mr. Mini Dreams did. His is finished. Mine's still sitting in a box, and mine's about 65% there. I just gotta get the oomph to finish it. Yeah. Okay. Hey, Twisted, bring enough for all of us, buddy. But yeah, I'm like everybody else. You know, a lot of the guys were taking. I'll come up with an idea. I'll start messing around. This build has been sitting on a side shelf for, I want to say, at least a year. And the only thing that got me going on it was I took in, literally got me back on it, was I got listening to the actual song, and B, looking at one of the guys on TV's custom car builds, and I'm like, you know what? I really like how I was doing with that car. I know I'm working on the 57, but I kind of want to work on that again. Even though I've got a semi that I have to finish in a month and a half. And the only thing is, I'm going almost straight out of the box with the semi. So, I got, other than swapping out some parts, like instead of 2 rear tires, you got 1. You know, that's the only, things I'm doing is slight modifications to customize it. But yeah, I got to get it back on that too. So Don, I'd love to see some of those 30-plus-year-old projects built up, man. Yeah, I mean, that's, everybody has built ups that, or started projects. I've got one right over there that I'm looking at is extremely rare, and I mean extremely rare, MPC 68 Vet, because they turned it into the 69 Vet, which to me was stupid. But it was bought as a built up. I paid $2 at the show in KC, and unfortunately I was short on parts and items, and lo and behold, because it is a roadster, lo and behold, I took and go the next year and bought a box of parts, just a shoebox, an old size 12, size 13 shoebox of parts, and there was another 68 MPC Corvette in there. Nothing glued on it, nothing. So that's another one that I gotta get on. I don't remember, Ron. I think I did. I want to real quickly here go to the channel. No, I'm not subscribed. I will I will look at it tonight. I actually like that. That looks cool, dude. Just from the little picture. I love those rancheros. I built 2 or 3 of them. One actually I took to the last, not this year, but the year before's KC show, and I build for me. I don't build for shows. If I win something, I win something. If I take home a trophy, I take home a trophy. That's my view. I build for me, and if people don't like it, I'm at the point I don't give a crap what you think. But I got a lot of compliments on it, and I wish I knew where I put it. It's in one of my boxes down at the far end, but it turned out pretty cool. I do like those cars. A 57? Ooh. Is that the chop top, or is that the stock top? You did that paint job in six. Oh, Ron, I'll be watching that in a little bit here. What 57 Ford Ranchero is that you got twisted? Is that the chop top, the old school Saints car, or is it the really old original top? See, if you ain't making that sound, you're not sanding something off. Oh, it's the multi-piece. Oh, you can have gold there, buddy. It goes to get. It's hard to go together because you have to be very, very careful with the multi-piece body. But when they get done, oh my God, they are beautiful. We had one at our show in March or May, not March, May of this year, and I don't remember if I got a picture of it or not. And it would be, if I did, it'd be on the thing. And the guy spent so much time on that car and the detail to it. It was all pure beautiful. And see, that's just like that, just like Ron's saying. Um, Ron's dad bought a brand new 57 inch and loved to model it. That's another thing that keeps me going in the hobby and all that, is because you get the chance to build stuff from your childhood and your own personal dreams. So, still, it'll be something when you finish it twisted. It should look cool. They turn out nice, man. No matter what no matter what the underpinnings are, those bodies are beautiful. But yeah, this hobby, that's like just like you'd expect. The standard 49 chassis, and I've got the 49 Merc underneath it. So, and this was another piece that was in the box. This rear end and everything's going to get torn out because I'm actually going to build a 4-link suspension with a completely different rear end, because that rear end is junk. It's all shades of warped and out of shape. Um, I haven't really, don't know how often I'll be doing this as far as live goes. I'm trying to get it set up to where it'll be like 1 or 2 days a week, or every other week, um, or something like that. I've been went with my old videos that you've seen were with a normal standard camera, and I went with this webcam. It is the Logitech. Don't know what it is, but it does HD 1080p, and okay, Twisted, I'll probably catch you next on Sunday. It depends on, because I've got family things and all that, but yeah, I've been contemplating this purchase, and I was like, okay, so I made the purchase. And yes, at the same time, I did pay off a credit card. So I treated myself to being a good little boy. Okay. But yeah, it was 4 payments ahead of schedule to pay off that card, which really, really good. Hello, redneck. Gary puts on a good show, especially when Zeno shows up. Okay. You scared me? And it's as simple as that. There's almost gone. All I got is a little bit over the wheel well, and it's gone. That's why I love this sanding stick. I think I've got 6 spares. Thank you, Ron. Redneck, this is the 50 convertible by AMT. Open up the... Another thing I do right after sanding like a full body is retrace lines, body lines. Gloss black with lime green interior and motor. That's... actually, I think that would look cool. Gloss black with lime green. Kind of be different. See, that's the beauty of our hobby. You can do whatever you want. And who cares what other people think? It's your build. Yeah, I've heard that one too before, Gary. Or Twisted that. I still buy more. Stupid tape. And there we go. And there is Smooth Criminal. Gotta do touch up in a couple spots. I am keeping the hinges, trunk hinges, the exterior hinges on the trunk. I think those things are a beautiful accent piece. I am keeping the Ford crown in the center of the trunk. But I've got, like I said, this touch up on this corner here of the windshield. I got a touch up here that I have to do, and a little bit on the back, and it'd be ready for primer next. Ron, yeah. Yeah. Funny thing is, redneck, I've got one of them, but the push pin doesn't stay in. It keeps falling out. Thank you, Don. Dental picks. Yeah, 4th gen Twisted is the 80s and 90s Camaro. That'll be cool, Twisted. And like I said, I work at Hobby Lobby, and I actually picked up. We had one left for $7.49. Thank you very much. And I haven't decided how I'm going to build that, but most likely it'll be. I don't know if I'm going to do a chop on it or not, but it'll be definitely still a convertible and drop top. But yeah, it's coming along. Here's the motor for the 57. I hate this motor. I like it, the real one, but the one that comes in the kit, I hate it. I had to add glue. I do glue filling with glue and sprue, and I actually had to have it added in 2 spots because there was the sprue missing, like in here in the top. There was a chunk missing there, and then there was a small chunk missing out of the transmission shaft. So I'm not a big fan of that motor, but that's what I'm using for it. I've actually got some Coyote motors. I went on a shopping spree for the Mustangs with the Coyote motors. Yeah, I bought I think 10 or 15 of them just for the motors and a few parts. So I think I got quite a bit of Coyotes currently. But like this one, this is another long-term project that's got a few issues that I need to redo. But I call this my tribute to the Foose Ford that Chip did with his dad. It's got quite a few issues, but I've been steadily working on them, trying to perfect them and get everything cleaned up. I have to extend the hood a little bit. It's this is another one that'll be someday down the road. And both those are good, cool ideas. They're twisted, and I like both of them, especially Elko. Between my parents and I think we've owned 2, 3, 4, 5 El Caminos. Thank you, Ron. It's actually a roof transfer from another car. I had accidentally cut up one of the chop top Mercuries, because the bottom half of the body was warped, but the roof was perfect. So I cut the roof out of it and used it on that thing. But it's getting about time. I want to. Yeah, LSX 454 and an 86. Oh yeah. I think the biggest motor we had in one was a 350. But the funny thing is the small block V8 267 that I had my Malibu and my one El Camino. You couldn't kill the motor, and B, it was stout. I don't remember the measurements of the camshaft that was in either one, but that's all it took was a camshaft in both of them, and they just lay rubber every single time, and so much power. It was amazing, the power that was coming out of that small block V8. But I do appreciate you guys coming on. I'm actually going to probably hit the hay because got to be up early for work. Nice long 10-hour day. And I want to thank everybody for making my first live video. Hopefully next time we'll have a little bit more preemptive strike notice. And we get a few more people. So again, thanks everybody, and this is Bobblehead saying I'll catch you guys later.